Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Siobhan Mazzino, and I'm your host for this presentation called The Business of YouTube and TikTok. Now, this presentation is a part of a series of events being hosted for Global Entrepreneurship Week. GEW is the world's largest celebration of innovators and job creators who launch startups and bring ideas to life. It is a week filled with thousands of events happening in 180 countries. Now, this evening, we have three amazing guest speakers who are here to give you some insight on the business of YouTube and TikTok. So first up, we have our presenter, Mr. Julian Rodriguez. Now, Julian has been an educator of marketing and a decade advisor. He has presented on social media marketing, leadership, and entrepreneurship at international and national conferences. Julian assists businesses with educating them on various strategies to generate leads and convert leads into paying customers. Thank you so much for being here, Julian.
No problem. Thank you for having me. All right. Well, first of all, welcome everyone. Welcome. I hope you guys are having a great day. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night from wherever you are. Let's get started. I'm going to talk to you about YouTube and YouTube for your business. Getting started. So basically what I'm going to do here is I want to first explain just a few things, cover some grounds, because, everyone's experience really is, it's kind of hard to gauge where you're at, like what experience do you have with YouTube. So I'm going to cover a few things and then go on to some tools that you may or may not know about. And, you're probably going to get some things out of it. So let's see. So starting off, in case you didn't know, I'm going to give you some statistics from this year, actually, right? So demographics. So more than 50% of YouTube users are female, right? More than about 89% of the households have an annual income above 100,000, right? 81% of people are between the ages, 81% of people within the ages are 15 to 25 use YouTube. 71% of people with the ages between 26 and 35 use YouTube. So for those are your age groups right there, 67% of people with the ages between 36 and 45 use YouTube, and so on and so forth. We got 66 are between 46 and 55, and 58 are older. So let's look at some other things. Going on and moving on from here, we'll click. So one of the big things that for you guys just starting out, go back. One of the big things for you guys just starting out is I want to point out about your channel art, right? Or your channel icon. Some people might forget some of these things. They might miss this stuff. And about channel art or channel icon, is it catchy? Is it flashy? Does it attract your audience? Is it your theme? And we might see like some of the brands that are out there, they change them as they go along. Now, these are just some brands that I just pulled off, right? Just boom, looked it up, popped them out, right? But, is it correlating to what you're trying to say? Now, some of you out here might not have a YouTube channel. And if you don't, you're kind of missing out on some things. And if you guys didn't know, YouTube is the world's second largest search engine. So it would behoove you to get YouTube. I mean, Google is the number one. So, you might want to get on YouTube. You might be thinking like, oh man, I really don't create video content. Well, there's ways you guys can go around to do that. Me as a business consultant, right, or as a business advisor, I struggled at like, oh man, what could I do to create video content? But in all honesty, a lot of people tend to look at like, what do you actually do, or who do you help? what are the joys of your job, or some of the background information. How is your product made? You know, what are your customers actually saying? Like video reviews, right? Not all reviews have to be typed up. Right? You can actually have your customer satisfaction, how happy you are, or how happy they are. Right? You can have that video of them receiving the gift or them using the gift. Right? Your commercials. Speaking of commercials, you know, 79% of marketers believe that YouTube is more effective than actually TV commercials. So if you didn't know that, you know, you might want to be on YouTube making some commercials, because people spend more times on this thing right here than we actually do looking at the big screens that are hanging up on our walls or on our desks or wherever, right? So utilize that. But you look at your art, your information that you're putting out there, right? Is it vivid? Is it strike? Is it conveying the message that you want to get across when your audience is there? Is it is it actually is it attracting who you want? It's not just something that's just thrown together, not some blurry image, not some picture that's taken through a windshield, right? You're actually using some good programs or software and taking a good photo, because, you know, I know no one really likes to be judged, but we are entrepreneurs and we're going to be judged for what we did. But that's what makes us entrepreneurs, because we can be judged, we can criticize it, and we're going to keep moving forward, right? So, you know, your channel art, your icons, it's there, right? But is it conveying that message that you want your customers to receive? Right? Moving on. All right, next slide. So your descriptions. Now, this is where we start getting to some of the more nittier grittier kind of things, and this is where some people are like, well, I want to know how can people find my stuff better? How can people find my videos better? How can they find where can they find me? How do I get my stuff up there when people search for me? Well, like I said, YouTube's the number 2 search engine in the world, right? And with that being said, you know, we come into our descriptions. Now, you have a channel, that's great. You want to make sure your descriptions are detailed in your channel, lengthy descriptions, boom, right? But whenever you create a video, all right, fill it full of information for your users, information for them to go to, and information that people, when they are searching for things, it can pop up some keywords that they might be looking for, keywords that they may be typing, keywords they might be searching. Now, you do need to make it readable, right? Because if you just put in just keywords and it's just a bunch of gibberish that don't make sense when people talk, guess what? People are, excuse me, the algorithm is going to work against you. So you're like, this doesn't make sense. We're going to put it over here, right? Not going to happen. So you need to make sure that it actually flows. Now, I put out some examples right here. Do notice that there are links right in these examples, links to their other social media sites. So they're cross marketing, they're cross promoting these other sites for people to go and follow them, right? So they can get in front of other people. Because I'm pretty sure with you guys here that, you know, you probably have other social media sites or other websites that your customers can get to. Well, ultimately, these sites are to drive the customers to one place where they can buy, right? Or wherever you want them to go or want them to do, but you're to get them there. Now, it could take them to other movies, other places, or just to other links. You do give credits for, you have to give credit for audio or what's in the video. You have to do that, right? Otherwise, you know, you're going to get flagged and that video is going to get taken down, right? So your descriptions are great ways for when people are searching for things, right? For you to pop up more, right? They're great ways for you to include little links, right? To get people or to drive traffic to other places, places that you want them to go, people to go and click on, start following you to these other places. Be very detailed and descriptive, right? Listed in there. Right, as you see in some of these right here, like I said, their social media sites. One of them right here has actually the verses to their music. Another one has some of their product up on sale, so people can go right to their site if they are interested in that product that was actually seen in that video, right? And another one has another YouTube video or a playlist for them. Look, here you go. You can look at these products or these videos where I entertain kids. So a great way of getting your stuff out there. right? You're trying to get more traffic, but once again, you want to get that stuff there. You want to have your descriptions filled out fully, right? Don't just put boom, one little blob, right? A few sentences. No, put it in there. All right. Uh, let's move on to the next slide because I want to give you guys some great information about this. Now, here are some things that, through doing all of this and learning quite a bit and running into so many different people, right? Here's some things that us as entrepreneurs, I know we want to, learn a bunch and get things as fast as we can. And, we want to do it right. Right. But, it's about trying to save money and not try to spend too much money. Right. Of course not. So here's some things that I found that, hey, you can use to help you that doesn't cost any money, right? That's great, right? Save on that cost. So first of all, if you really want to know about how to use YouTube, right, and you haven't like got the hang of it yet, YouTube has its own academy. I know a lot of people don't know about that academy, but YouTube does have its own academy. It's called the Creator Academy. You can look that up, right? The Creator Academy there, right? You can definitely go to it, and it has tons of courses on how to use your matrix, how to use the YouTube analytics, how to title your videos, even how to build your thumbnails. And your thumbnails are actually what your videos would look like. So as you've seen on some YouTube videos, it's kind of blurry, it's kind of mixed up, while other YouTube videos, um, it might actually have, really high def image with words across it. Right? You can read that, you can see that image. Right? Those are the difference. Those, you want those great thumbnails, those pictures. Right? The Creator Academy can show you how to do those. Recommend certain sites. I prefer Canva, which I put on there. Canva, right? That's the program software that I like to use. It's free. Another way to find out what's really trending in the world or what's going on even in your geographic location is to use Google Trends. Find out what's happening in your world. Find out what's happening nearby. Find out what's going on. What's beginning to really pick up some steam, right? Or to really boost on that SEO, because some of us really care about SEO. Look up Google Keyword Planner. That's a big thing. Now, if you get a YouTube channel and you're beginning to pick up steam, right? How do you stay relevant? How do you keep your channel up above everyone else? How do you keep it? Because you can't just constantly keep posting, but um, you can't just constantly keep posting and then still stay on top. You actually have to comment and respond to other people, right? So on this, one of the big things is that you should go to other YouTube accounts and actually comment on other YouTube accounts at least once or twice a week, right? You want to keep your channel up there as active, not that you're just putting out information. You also want to contribute to the community in YouTube, right? And you're going to build these relationships. Now, some of you out here just building that YouTube channel, just getting it started, say like tonight, I'm going to make a channel tonight, right? Oh, I really want to work with this guy, but they have a few million subscribers. I probably need to wait till I have like at least a million. No, no. Start following their videos, start liking their stuff. You really like them, shoot them an email. It's never too early to start a collaboration. That's the best way to do it, right? Start a collaboration. They're in your area, they're nearby, whatever. If they're even on the other side of the world, right? Start a collaboration with them, right? But don't just reach out blindly, because we all have those blind people who just, hey, I liked your stuff. You want to buy this? No. Build that rapport, like some of their stuff, right? And talk to them about their previous video, talk to them about what they're doing, what they really stand for, and reach out to them. Say, hey, would you like to collaborate? And more likely, some of these YouTubers, right, will collaborate with you. They will want to work with you, right? They want to do that. They want to help a lot of entrepreneurs, especially some of the YouTubers that I spoke with. They're all about trying to help entrepreneurs build their business, right? So reach out to them, right? It's never too early. Even if you only have, 0 subscribers, reach out to them, build that, right? Um, so making sure that you're commenting, like reach out for collaborations. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up right here. Otherwise, using your YouTube Academy, you have Cultures and Trends, which is also provided by YouTube, right? Following what's going on, the cultures and trends, what's been happening, right? So you have Google Trends, which can pick up what's really picking up steam in cultures and trends, or YouTube cultures and trends, is what's been picking up in steam, or what's been picking up things and what's really hot right now. You have YouTube Space, which is a good collaboration space. You can connect with other YouTubers or other people around and kind of host workshops and whatnot, but you kind of need so many subscribers at that point. And then you have YouTube Studio, which you can get all the copyright free licensed music. So you don't have to worry about putting in any music and then getting shut down for it, right? All that music and audio that's there is completely free, and you're not going to get in trouble for using it. All right. So I hope you guys got some things out of this. I didn't want to buy up or use up too much time. Right. I know it was really quick. Questions.
All right, so we would like to open up to our attendees to ask questions of Mr. Rodriguez. So please fire away. You can throw your questions into the chat.
Oh my gosh, where is it at?
Okay, so Mr. Rodriguez, your question is, what is your business? What are you currently doing right now?
Oh, okay. So I actually have I used to have 3 businesses. I sold one of them just recently. Otherwise, I still have 2, right? I had a Business Strategies Academy, right? I have a Aggrandizement, which is an investment firm. And then I, like, I have just a regular, I work with the federal government on some contracting deals, right? Business is actually just under my name, right? So otherwise, yeah, that's about it, right? As far as my business, right? As of right now, I have a non-compete agreement, so I can't really help out business owners under Business Strategies Academy for now. Currently, what I'm doing is I'm working with some middle schools on. There's a lot of underprivileged students in my local area right now that don't have internet access, so I've coordinated and working with some of the middle school students. I coordinated with the middle schools to open up some of the gymnasiums or auditoriums and try to get some keeping distance and masks in place, and provide some Wi-Fi access so we can get the kids who don't have internet to come in and provide some tutoring with some local volunteers, so that way they can come in and still get some education, right? So for now, this is what I'm trying to work with, is going in, since I have an education background. Still, me and some former educators are working on doing that right now. And then in January, we have a 4-H program coming up where we're trying to push in a STEM program with something to do with robotics. I know it's really hard with a county fair, and nothing a whole lot with the animals, and it's kind of still up in the air because with COVID and everything. But still working on that, right? But that's where we're looking for 2nd to 5th graders, trying to build this in by trying to still maintain some distance.
Awesome. I actually have quite a few more questions. I'm going to try to, because for the sake of time, I will pick 2 questions and then we'll move on to our next panelist. What is the best way to use YouTube when you are a nonprofit and you don't have product? Do you have any advice?
Okay. So you're a nonprofit and you don't have product? Okay, well, that's okay. So you have a purpose. You're a nonprofit and you don't have product. You have a purpose. I worked with so I'm sure some of you may have heard of No DUI, right? At one point in time, there's a nonprofit that I once worked with years ago. Was a No DUI Colorado, and unfortunately, I ended up moving down to where I am now in Arizona. I'm not sure if they're still up and running, but they had a purpose, right? This purpose and this dream of, there's too many DUIs that happen that cause injuries or deaths, right? When there could be people who, they drive, they have a partner, partner goes, they call, it doesn't cost any money. Someone gets out, gets in that person's vehicle and drives their vehicle home. Because what's the problem with DUIs is that I don't want to leave my car here, right? Well, they have a purpose, right? You have a purpose, right? You don't have a product. They didn't have a product either, right? They had a service that they provided. They had a mission. They had a goal. They had something that they want to sell. And what did they do is that they appealed to the emotions. They appealed to that what people felt. What was that end goal? What was that thing? Because you have that nonprofit, and I've been in charge of a nonprofit before, right? The past 3 years I've had a nonprofit. It's you. What is your goal? What are you appealing to? What is that one thing that is going to better them? Because as the nonprofit, you are aiming to ultimately get to one place, but you need help and guidance, or you need someone to care for the same mission that you do. So how do you get them to care for you, right? Well, you address the whole, I'm sure you've probably seen the beanstalk or the root or the turnip, right? We get them to start really noticing and caring about the root of the problem, right? Quit addressing the issue, or excuse me, not the issues, the symptoms, but address the root. Get them to care about that. If you want, you can email me. I'll happily talk to you about that, because I love nonprofits. Sorry.
Great, and we'll be providing your contact information. Siobhan, now to you.
Where's Siobhan at?
Thank you. And thank you, Julian. Now our next presenter is Alessandro Boglieri. He is the co-founder and CEO of the Influencer Marketing Factory, a global influencer marketing agency that helps companies get in front of Gen Z and millennials on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. His agency supports brands through the entire influencer marketing process, handling influencers, identification, storytelling, contracting, campaign execution, analytics, and digital ROI reporting. So welcome, Alessandro.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Perfect. So thank you for the intro. And yes, today I'm gonna talk 20 minutes about TikTok. As we all know, TikTok is just getting more and more downloads every single day. In the last year, it got more than 1 billion of downloads all over the world. We're looking at something that is gonna be seriously just amazing. Never had something like a growth like that in the history of social media. And so today I want just to tell you a bit more about what is TikTok, not just for fun, but actually how businesses are using that nowadays to promote different type of things. Could be an app, could be a product, an e-commerce website, could be sometimes also just brand awareness. So if we move to the next slide, I want just to show you a little difference between, for example, something that we all know, that is Instagram. And a lot of people are still making some confusion when it comes to the differences between social media, something like that. And some people are using TikTok as it would be Instagram. But one of the main differences it is that on Instagram, I would say that in the last years, more and more people are using that to, I would say, show off a life that is a bit pretentious. Sometimes it's fake. It's not their their real life. It's not their themselves. They cannot show for who they are. And instead on TikTok, you can really show yourself for who you are. And it is you're going to be accepted for who you are no matter what. And so a lot of people on TikTok can actually create videos that are going to be super short, 15 seconds, sometimes 30 seconds. And they are not to be super polished, super perfect as it happens on Instagram. On Instagram, when you post something, you have to be perfect, right? You have to use the right filters, the right type of hashtags. But on TikTok, it is totally different. That work for both having fun on it and also for business purposes. And moving on to the next slide, I also want to tell you why it is different. And again, when I talking about all these type of things, I think all the time, when you use it both for fun and also for business purposes. The nice thing of TikTok is that you can be like, the more authentic you are on the platform, the better it is, because people want to see content that is actually something new. It is relatable. You know, I go to TikTok, I see something that could be funny, could be entertaining, could be informative, because, by the way, a lot of people still think that TikTok is only dances, but that's actually not what it is. TikTok started like that back like, you know, around like 2 years ago, and it was mostly, yeah, dances and lip syncing. But actually now TikTok has so much more to offer. You can find personal finance advisors, you can find marketing tips, and yes, also like a lot of funny, entertaining videos. But TikTok really offer a plethora of different type of content for everyone. And so, as I was saying before, instead of like, you know, having these pretentious type of photos or these like, you know, ideal type of life that unfortunately a lot of the time is just fake, on TikTok you can really be yourself and just be accepted for who you are. And also it's super easy to get on trending hashtag videos. Like you can just click, as you can see in the slide, you can just easily click on an hashtag in the icon to record your video, or on a soundtrack, and you can easily start getting viral, you know, just with one click. Of course, it's not that easy. No, it's not for everyone, but just to tell you that it's super easy actually to get under the spotlight because of the algorithm. And in the next slide, actually, I'm also like, you know, talking a bit more, like I gave this, like, this is like a score that I gave myself. So I don't know, could be like an opinion. So different people can, like, you know, maybe think differently on that. But in my opinion, one of the strongest thing of TikTok, it is the algorithm on how it serves content for you. Is like the AI behind the algorithm try really to understand what do you like and what would you like, and give you the best content for you. So imagine that, for example, on Instagram, it is a social media that is mostly based on a network relationship base, right? So you start following some people and then you see the majority of the content of those people. It is rare for you to go to the explore page, right, and check for new content. Like it's only a small percentage of these people do that. YouTube, I think there is a really good combination between content that of people that you follow. So you subscribe to a channel and you start, like, you know, seeing more and more videos from that person. The homepage of YouTube is also gonna, like, you know, recommend you certain type of content based on your behavior. So it's a good combination. And that's why I gave, like, you know, 8 out of 10 on the contrary of Instagram, that I think that in terms of, like, you know, analysis of content is definitely not the best. And TikTok for me is 10 out of 10 because since the first time that you access to the app, even if you don't have like an account, the system is going to understand your behavior, what do you like, how much time you're spending on a single video, you know, and how many looks do you give to a video, if you share it to your friends, and so on. And so really understand what do you like, who you are as a person, and thanks to that, it's going to give you only the best videos. And that's why a lot of people spend hours and hours watching TikTok videos, because it's so addictive because of the system behind that. So when you think about like, how can I get in front of the right people? Let's say that you have a business and, you know, it's a really niche business. Well, actually that is going to also work better for you on TikTok, maybe compared to Instagram, because that type of videos, if you're consistent with a specific style, tone of voice, and a topic, is going to get in front potentially to the right type of people, because again, TikTok analyzes a lot of different, like, you know, behavioral aspects before giving that content to enough people to be analyzed. And on the next slide, instead, I also want to tell you why now is the time to be on TikTok. Actually, it was yesterday already. Like, you know, it's in the last 2 years, I personally see it growing a lot. I saw it changing quickly and drastically in the best way possible. So don't get me wrong, I think that is TikTok is doing every day an amazing job in their journey. And the nice thing of TikTok, it is that imagine like a funnel. Okay, on Instagram you have a funnel where you start with your top, that is your Instagram followers, and only a small percentage of those people are gonna see you. That is called the organic reach. Only a small percentage is gonna see your content. Okay, and that as you can see, it's quite difficult because of the competition, because you have to create a lot of different contents every single day. And maybe like you get to 1 million of followers, but that doesn't necessarily mean the 1 million of people are going to see you. Okay, just a little percentage of those people. On the contrary, TikTok, it works like as an opposite, like an opposite funnel. Okay, so in that way, even if you have only 10,000 followers, but your content is on point and is viral enough, you can get on the For You page, and the For You page actually can give you like the spotlight, like for maybe potentially 5 millions of people, 10 millions of people, 20 millions of people. So we saw in the past people with maybe 20,000 followers getting maybe 20 millions of views, and that is not that rare to find. Okay, so on TikTok, everyone has more opportunity. I'd say that is more meritocratic than other social media, because it's not necessary to have a big amount of following to start, but it's all about being relevant, be authentic, creating nice content, and be consistent with that. Okay, that is super important to know about TikTok. That both for fun, but also if you start using or creating a new page for business. Okay, and in the next slide, I want also to I can go super quick on this, but for example, this is like a campaign that we did for one of our clients, and the difference between like advertisement or at least promoted video on TikTok on the contrary of other social media. It is that on TikTok, again, you can be relatable, it could be authentic. So for example, in this case, it was a video about this product. It's like toys for like for pets, and also like for kids, like they have different type of products. And it's nice because in TikTok, instead of let's say cold promoting a product in a really let's say not personal way, without giving a personal touch, on TikTok you can, let's say, include the product or an app or a service inside a funny video, and that is gonna help you drastically in terms of increasing the conversion rate, okay, from the video to the e-commerce or to the app store or whatever. Because again, you are watching something that is fun to watch. It's not boring as a normal commercial, or it is not cold as a displayed banner that you can see usually on Instagram or anywhere on other websites. So the big plus it is that you have a storytelling in each TikTok videos, or usually it is what you should look into, right? All the time that you create something like that. That said, also in the next slide, I wanted just to tell you that when it comes to TikTok, you also have to think about what is trending, okay? That is super important. If you do that for business, if you do that like for fun, you can easily jump on a new trends every single day. Every day there are new trends, okay? There could be new songs, new hashtag challenges, could be anything, okay? If you want like, to get viral or to have enough for like, the opportunity to be seen by millions of people, just go there every day, see what is trending that week or that day, and try to capitalize on that. So even if you have like a business that you think, oh, maybe it's not going to work for TikTok, if you're able to like understand what is trending that day or that week, and you try to just translate that type of message, okay, for your business, you can actually be even more relatable, because you are understanding how the TikTok audience it is thinking, what they want to see, and if you give what they want to see, you're gonna win the audience. And so in the next slides, I want just to go a bit more in depth when it comes to the business, right? So TikTok, this is just like in general what it is TikTok, but when it comes to business, you have to really think, and in the next slides, I'm going to show you like some examples about the creativities. Okay, again, like you don't have just to think that it's you have to be funny, you have to dance, or you have to entertain. Even if you are informative, sometimes even if you give 15-minute tips about anything, people are going to find it interesting if it is in the right TikTok type of style and you're following the type of creativeness, okay? And and for example, what I also really suggest it is that you should analyze both the mainstream challenges that you find on the For You page, but also play with different hashtags, go there and see the different alt TikToks, the alternative niches, what they're doing in that moment, okay? That is also important for you to understand like what is happening, not just on the mainstream challenges, but also maybe something that is more niche that is gonna work better for your type of industry, for example. And in the next slide instead, I also want to tell you a bit more about like, you know, the TikTok ads amplification. I know that this is a lot of different information, but I want to give you a super quick overview of all the different opportunities that you have with TikTok. So imagine that with TikTok, you have the organic opportunities, right? So you can create your own videos, or you can hire influencers and pay them to promote your product, service, app, whatever it is, e-commerce, whatever it is. And that is the organic part, right? So it's all about like, you know, the organic reach and the potential, like, you know, in terms of numbers of the audience that you can get, right? But then if you also have an additional budget, as you would do for Instagram ads, Facebook ads, Google AdWords, any other type of like, you know, ads platform, TikTok offer you also to do the same. So my biggest advice when, and if you want to experiment and also like, you know, put some money into TikTok, when you like put money on ads, my advice is not to create something that is that would maybe work for other social media, but try to create only content that works, especially for TikTok. Why? Because if you are trying to do something that might be like, you know, maybe working on Instagram, not necessarily gonna work on also on TikTok. And if you're putting money there, you might actually fire back, you know, because you're putting money on something, on a type of content that the audience of TikTok, the users of TikTok don't want to see. So you're gonna waste money, you're gonna have negative feedbacks, you're gonna spend a fortune in terms of the cost per mail and cost per actions and cost per click. Instead, if you try to understand and you watch many videos on TikTok and you understand the DNA that is behind that, you're gonna actually understand the type of language, the type of tone of voice that you want to get. And once you're ready, my advice for you is to create organic videos, see how do they perform organically speaking. Let's do that you do 5, 6 different videos, 10 different videos, 20 different videos that you're gonna pay for some influencers. And after that, you can boost the ones that are performing the best organically speaking. So let's say that you got, I don't know, 5 million views, you can put some money. And when you have the TikTok ads, and I want to show you in the next slide, what happened is that in that case, as for example, for Instagram ads or Facebook, you can actually send people to a landing page. You can send people to an e-commerce. You can send people to an app. You can send people in any type of page that you want to send them, and you can track everything, okay? In the next page, for example, I just put, you know, like some logos of third-party tracking that you can use if you have an app, if you have an e-commerce. So TikTok can help you at the beginning, like, you know, to go organically for brand awareness to get in front of many people. But if you are tech enough and you have tracking pixels, if you have URLs that you can like, you know, track and everything, and you want to have an exact ROI analysis, with the TikTok ads platform, actually, you're able to do that because they have now a system in place. And in the next slides, you know, I mean, this, we can just skip this, but as I was saying before, TikTok says that don't make ads, make TikToks. You don't want to be boring. You don't want to, you know, do something that you might see on TV or on a normal YouTube ads. Do something that feel like a TikTok. In that way, you're gonna win Gen Z, and especially them, and also millennials, because in that way you can really get like in front of them. If you tell them like to buy something in a cold way, they won't do that. But if you're smart enough to create a storytelling and create a TikTok instead of an ad, they're gonna definitely convert even more. And for example, this, I just put a couple of examples. Unfortunately, I shared the PDF, so I cannot show with you like the videos that we did. But for example, we work every single month with the 3 major music labels: Sony Music, Universal Music, and Warner Music Group. And for example, when they want to launch new songs, we help them with, for example, or like, you know, for example, we helped to launch one of the latest songs from by Shakira. And instead of like, you know, just pushing the new song, actually we asked some TikTokers to recreate the makeup for, like, from Shakira, from that song. So we combined two different things. It was fun for them to recreate that type of, like, makeup. And while we were doing that, we were pushing the song. Or for example, in the middle, we have another app. We have these two clients, Hili and Taimi, and it's a dating app. So instead of just saying, hey, download the app, we created a storytelling of these, like, people meeting each other in a super easy way, downloading the app. So as you can see, it's more fun to see, it's more entertaining. On the contrary of maybe something like that I put on the left on Instagram, there is just a photo that you have to click. Don't get me wrong, both of them can work on different type of audiences, okay? So also the one on Instagram can definitely work if you are targeting in a perfect way, but maybe that could work maybe for people that are more used to that type of, like, type of display ads. But if you want to get to younger generation, you have to play it a bit, like, let's say, cooler in a way, and do a storytelling. In the next slide, I want to really wrap up and just try to be in 20 minutes, something like that. But I want to tell you how you can optimize your TikTok campaign, no matter what your budgets, okay? So it could be that you have, like, maybe a smaller budget, a bigger budget, but this is a concept, okay? And in the next slide, I want just to show you usually what is, in my opinion, and our opinion as an agency, the best way for you to work on TikTok, especially with influencers. Don't try to dictate on the message, okay? Try to all the time co-create with them, because they are the TikTokers. They know their audience. They know their type of, like, content they want to create. And so try to understand what you need, you or your clients' needs. Ask to the TikToker their ideas, okay? Try to understand and their feedbacks and so on, and try to create a sort of, like, loop of feedbacks. Never go to a TikToker and say, you have to say this and do this, because it will never work. So as you can see in the next slide, I say, trust the TikTokers. They are the ones that know about their audience. They know about how to create the perfect TikTok. So trust them when they see a video. Maybe you at the beginning, you might not understand that, but it is the best way to do that. If instead you want to create your own videos, I also suggest you to maybe talk with some TikTokers if you can, or watch as many videos as you can. So to really understand 100% how you can do something similar, and get the right type of message in front of the right type of people. That's mostly it. I mean, now in next slides, it gets a bit more technical, about how to track performances. But I think that it's maybe I'm running out of time. So, just to say in the 20 minutes, I hear some different pages about, like, remarketing. But again, these are things that we can also talk no matter what of TikTok. So we can just easily skip them. So that in case there are, like, maybe any questions, we're still in time. I don't want to take too much time from the other panelists. And I really hope, I know it was a lot altogether, but I really hope that you get at least an understanding of the main important things about TikTok.
Thank you, Alessandro. And we're actually going to hold questions and move on to Natalie. So Siobhan, you've got it from here.
Thank you, and thank you so much, Alessandro. Our next presenter is Natalie De La Moth. She is a multi-million producing real estate agent serving in the Metro Atlanta area. As one of the top producing realtors affiliated with Maximum One, Natalie provides exceptional real estate services to her residential and commercial clients from all over the globe. Natalie can be described as a serial entrepreneur. And in addition to being a realtor, Natalie is a real estate investor who currently owns close to a dozen rental properties. Thank you, Natalie.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Siobhan. Okay, I want to make sure that my audio is on.
And Natalie, just give me a second. You can go ahead and start talking. It's just that my PowerPoint just crashed. And so I'm trying to get it back up.
Well, I'm just going to introduce myself real quick. Again, I'm Natalie De La Moth. I'm a real estate agent serving the Metro Atlanta area. And I like to call myself as a serial entrepreneur. I've been doing business since I knew like 5 years old. I started studying candy in school. So I'm always looking to empower entrepreneurs and be involved in that space because I'm very passionate about it. So I'm really happy that I got an opportunity and the invitation to come and speak about entrepreneurship in the space of TikTok. And let me know when you're ready, Siobhan. So I first heard of TikTok from Gary Vee, and if anyone of you know who Gary Vee is, he cusses a lot, but he is very passionate about entrepreneurship as well. And so he, about a year and a half ago, started talking about TikTok being the next big space for marketing. And of course, I didn't take advantage of it. I didn't listen to him. But it took the pandemic and just being bored out of my mind, trying to find some sort of entertainment to kind of stumble onto TikTok. So I opened an account on TikTok in May of this year. And I didn't do it in a business capacity. I did it because I needed some outlet and something to entertain myself while we're quarantined and what have you. And so I quickly kind of saw the advantages or the opportunities in terms of business and my business, because I'm, again, a serial entrepreneur. So I wanted to go back a little bit, starting back just to what is TikTok. So let's go to the next slide. So what is TikTok? Let me try to get my slide up here. TikTok is a social media app used to create short music, lip sync, dance, comedy, and talent videos, ranging from 3 to 30 seconds long. And TikTok is a baby app. First, it started in 2016 as Musical.ly, and some of us may remember it, but TikTok didn't originally launch, and well, didn't actually launch until 2018 when a Chinese company called ByteDance actually took over and created this TikTok that we know today. And while I said I heard of it before, a lot of people became more aware of TikTok in 2020. And incredibly, it's one of the most downloaded apps out of the non-gaming sphere in 2020. And it grew to 800 million users in 2020 as well, growing up to, I think, 315 million within just 1 quarter of the year. So those numbers are just telling us how incredibly important it is trending and how the opportunities that may exist in terms of us getting into that space as small business owners and trying to leverage that app like we have been doing, Facebook and Instagram, to kind of get exposure for our business. So next slide. Yeah, let's do this. So let's very, very basic getting started. So this is a kind of grab screen of my TikTok right now. And one thing I kind of really liked when I got into the app, and they can tell I'm not a young spring chicken, I'm kind of old. So it's very refreshing to go into an app and not have to scratch my head or look at a lot of tutorials on how to use it. And TikTok was really easy for me to just go in. Day one, I was making videos. So it's really easy to kind of get a hang of it. But once you go in, you want to start with the that plus in the middle bottom screen. That's how you're going to start creating a video if you wanted to go ahead and do that. Let's go to the next slide. And so once you click that start button, you'll get an option here where you can either press that red button in the bottom and start recording a video, or you can, to your right, upload an existing video that you have on your computer or on your phone actually. And then there's other options like you can go live from this screen, and going live, you need to have at least 1,000 followers in order to go live. But I got that really quickly. I mean, like my first week, let's not exaggerate. Maybe my first 2 weeks, I didn't post a lot the first week I was on the app, but I got 1,000 followers and I could have gone live. So you can actually, from that page as well, select if you want to do a 15-second long video or a 60-second long. You just go ahead and click whichever option that you want to do. And there is a couple of templates that you can use as well. But what I think I use most on this page is actually the effects button. And that's where you can actually create a zoom in head, or if you want to add your glasses, or you want to, let's see the filter, you want to do a profile kind of, is the profile? Yeah, you want to do a profile kind of feature. There's a dozen, dozens of options in terms of effects that you can choose to make your videos more interesting, exciting, or unique. And then you go ahead, once you start that, you have a little check mark, and we go to the next slide. And then you go to that screen where you can actually edit. Chevron, let's go to the next slide. I know I have to nod, but I'm just not coordinated like that. Sorry. But on this screen, let's start from top to bottom. You can select filters, very similar to how you would do on Facebook or Instagram. Then you can also edit the length of your clip. You can add voice effects and voiceovers. Voiceovers is pretty cool if you're doing silent or quiet videos and you just want to really quickly talk over it. I use it sometimes, not a whole lot. And then in the bottom, starting from left to right, the sound option is amazing because adding trending songs or just songs that makes your video pop and makes it more relatable or makes it more engaging is important. And what I use most is the text app for two reasons. One, if you can't already tell, I speak really quickly and I try to slow down, but I just really do. So having the text closed caption allows people to kind of follow along when I kind of rumble over words. But another feature that a lot of, I guess, use of that closed caption is for being inclusive for people that are hearing impaired. And it's a great way to connect with people that are just, like I said, from the hearing impaired community. So I think it's something, it takes a lot of time to actually go in and edit and add text to all your talking if you're doing a whole 60 seconds of talking. But it's a really good gesture to make and it's really received well in the community. So this is where you would do your editing and cleaning up your video. And then we'll go to the next screen where you would actually go to that final screen before you post your videos. And you can actually post privately if you want to, or you can post public. And these options here, you can either enable or disable comments or duets or stitches, or you can save it to your device. I cut a part of that screen, but in the bottom there, you can actually post directly to Facebook or Instagram as well. So that's a really cool feature if you have several social media sites that you just want to coordinate your postings on. Let's go to the next slide. And so once you get a TikTok account, you get a standard account is what I call it. It's probably not the official one, but it doesn't allow you to get analytics. For you to have the visual into analytics, which as small business owners is very important for us, because if you're going to be using and leveraging the TikTok app for business, you want to see what type of videos are performing well versus what's not. So getting a pro account is free. You just go ahead and you not apply for it, but you just go ahead and change the settings on your account to a pro account. And that gives you access to the analytics side of TikTok, which is, I mean, I love it because I love numbers and I love analytics and I love to see how my videos perform. It's helped me kind of duplicate successes and avoid pitfalls. And let's go ahead and see what kind of insights you get into having a pro account and having access to your analytics. So this is a grab again of my screen. So this is how I get to my analytics. That top 3 dots to the right of your screen, top right, I would click on that and it will take me to a drop down menu. And in that drop down menu, I will click on the creator option. And let's go, next slide. So the creator option is not featured here, but once I do that, I get these 2 options, the analytics option as well as the TikTok creator fund. So while I'm here, let's talk a little about the TikTok creator fund. So I joined the app, I said in April of this year, and the TikTok creator fund only became a thing within the last 2 months, I would say. And you have to have 10,000 followers to be eligible. You have to be 18 years plus to be eligible. And you also need to have 100 likes in the last 30 days to be eligible. So when I became eligible, of course, I mean, it's free money, right? So I went ahead and I got the TikTok fund. I applied for it and I got approved. And while you're not going to pay rent with it, well, at least I'm not going to pay rent with it because I don't make that much on there. But if you have good content and you have a lot of videos going viral and you have a huge following, and I'm not quite there yet, you can make a lot of money just from the TikTok funds. And I think the funds are based on your views. But just to give you a quick view of my finances in terms of the TikTok fund, I've been on it for like about 6 weeks, close to 2 months, and I have a little over 250 in that account. So it's a perk. It's not something that I was looking forward to or was planning on. I would post contents regardless if I get $1 or not for it. But it's a nice bonus just to be, get the access to those little funds as part of your TikTok experience, right? So let's go look into the analytics. Again, one of my favorite features of having a pro account, and you don't have access to that if you just have a standard account. So when you go into the analytics tab, you have 3 options. You can look at the overview, you look at your content, and you can look at followers. In the overview, you can see video views, you can see your followers. So it tells you over a 7 or a 28-day period, how many new followers you've had. If you've lost followers, it also tells you, and this is the screen we're looking at. We're looking at the content screen to your right, oh, my right. And essentially, it's just my most recent videos. They're not doing great. But it tells you your most recent videos and how they're performing. It also in the bottom tells you your trending videos and how those are performing. And so it's good information to have, but the most important bit of information I think for us as small business owners is just analyzing how our followers interact with our content. And in the followers tab, it tells you basically the gender makeout. So if you have 40% female followers versus 60% male followers, it tells you what region or country they're from. So you know if a lot of your followers are from, say, England, for example, or if a lot of your followers are from Canada or America. It also tells you, which is the most important part, I think, when your followers are active or engaging with your content. So it has like a 24-hour bar chart, and it tells you from 8 to 10 a.m., most of your followers are active and engaging with your content then. So what that tells us as small business owners is when do we post. So you want to post at those period of times when your followers are most active and when they're engaging the most with your content, right? And that's a pretty sweet bonus to have, especially if you're trying to maximize exposure, brand awareness, and all that good stuff. I try to do it. I make videos when I have downtime, and I have it in my drafts, and I try to post when I know my followers and my audience are more active or most active on the app. Let's go to the next slide. So when I got into TikTok, I was like, yeah, I got this. It's easy. When I got my first video, I got like very little views, right? But I had my first video that kind of went semi-successful. I wouldn't say viral quite yet. It was a video of my baby. And TikTok, by the way, loves babies and animals, particularly dogs and cats. But anyway, I had a video of my baby, and after having consistently videos that had under 1,000 views, that one video had like, I think 300,000 views. And I was like, yo, this is awesome. So how this works is that, like Alexandra was saying, once you get onto TikTok, your For You page, which is like a curated page of things that TikTok thinks you're interested in, is pretty much really random. But once you start spending time on the app and engaging with different content creators, different accounts, different videos, TikTok is going to get a sense based on the artificial intelligence. What does this person like? For example, if I started an account and I started liking a whole lot of anime things, following anime content creators, TikTok is going to be like, yo, Natalie likes a lot of anime. So let's push those contents to her For You page. And that's just over time, it gets more intelligent because it has more information to base the recommendations on, and your For You page is really personalized. Like on my For You page, for example, I have a lot of credit repair things, mortgage lenders, small business advice, tax advice, because those are the content that I tend to interact most with. I do the dances as well, but if you consistently look at my engagements, you will see that I tend to lean heavily towards those kind of content. And so that's one of the great things about TikTok. And that's what Alexandra was saying. You can literally spend hours and hours because it's giving you things that you're interested in, which is really cool. But also from the posting side, let's go back a little bit. I'm not quite finished. On the posting side, when you post a video, it sends it out to a small sample of people. So it sends it out to maybe, I would say, and this is not actual numbers, it'll send it to 100 people on their For You page. And based on how these people interact with the video, it's going to be like, okay, they don't like that, let's trash that. Or, wow, the people are actually engaging with this. This is good content. They're sharing it, they're commenting on it, they're liking it, they're duetting it, they're doing all these different engagements. So let's push it out to, say, 500 people. And if the pattern continues, they're going to push that to 5,000 people, then 50,000 people. And that's how you get that virality. So you really, any video that you post, there is always a real possibility based on how the initial and the subsequent sets of people interact with the posting on the For You page for it to go viral. So it's pretty awesome to have that ability and capability to kind of have your video be able to go viral quite easily based on how the contents are being engaged with. Let's go to the next one. So how can we take advantage of the TikTok application for small businesses? And a lot of this was covered already. Brand exposure is pretty self-explanatory. People could understand what you offer. It's easy to kind of embed brands in videos or talk about different features of your brand, so you can kind of give that exposure. And with the unlimited or the possibility of it having so many views or eyes being, eyes seeing it, you have that, I think personally, a bigger chance of getting brand exposure on TikTok than you would with Instagram or Facebook, in my experience. And you can promote your business. I tend to, and I think that's a lot of the people that give recommendations or suggestions how to grow TikTok is actually not being given the hard sell. So I'm a real estate agent. I was never going to tell someone, I'll never go on TikTok and say, I'm a real estate agent, call me to buy or sell your house. The Gen Z and millennials don't respond well to that kind of direct on the nose marketing. But if you do content that have, these are some mistakes that first time home buyers buy, or these are some issues that sellers have, or have this kind of storytelling approach to it, you have your business integrated into fun, interesting, and dynamic content. People are going to respond to that more, and they're still going to put two and two together. Oh, she's a realtor and she does this and that. So just being more indirect and more story-like is probably going to get you the best result on TikTok, in my experience. And it's so easy to connect with your audience because, like most social media, you have comments, likes, you can share it. But I think one of the features that I think I like most about TikTok is being able to respond to comments with videos, which kind of makes your comments or your audience feel very important. So I do it a lot when I can. I'll just go ahead and respond to a video, to a comment with a video, and that adds such a personal touch to it. I think it's really impactful in building community rather than audience and followers. Going live is another way to, again, introduce yourself to your audience and build a community. You can have a Q&A session. You can actually, if you do, I don't know, makeup, you can actually go live and do a particular look. If you do consultative services, I was following this tax accountant that actually had a whole deductible training on TikTok. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use that live feature to build community and connect with your audience and to provide information that is just going to help you kind of excel in that TikTok space. And then the business ad space, it's again relatively new, also meaning that the opportunities are great for small business owners. First, you don't have as much competition as Instagram and Facebook, which is very saturated at the moment. You don't have to compete with other brands to get attention. And you can actually have an ad campaign starting at $20. So it's within budget, it's reachable, and then you have the benefit of being an early adopter and being able to get that exposure as opposed to you trying to squeeze $20 out of a Facebook and Instagram ad and having to fight with hundreds of other marketers on that space as well. Next slide. So I tend to follow a lot of like what they call TikTok gurus. It kind of gives you ways to grow your TikTok following. So one of the things they always say is post at least 3 times a week. I personally try to post twice a day. And that's going to lend itself to the other one on that screen as well, the duets. Sometimes I'm just too busy to post. So I'll just duet a content that I think is applicable and on brand for what I'm offering. And duets are, I don't know what's going on with duets, but for me, it's been the most successful approach for, doing really good content and exposing my followers to interesting content creators. So in terms of the duet bit of it, my most viral video, if you can call it that, because it only got 2.2 million views, was a duet that I did with a numbers guy that was telling us how we can save interest and paying down your mortgage faster. And it's on brand for me because, of course, I'm in real estate and I wanted to share that information with my following, and I did, and it just blew up. So using duets wisely, and I also do duets for lighthearted things as well, for comedy, for dance that I think is impressive, just give a reaction for it. So you can use duet quite a lot of different ways to actually underscore what you're doing, but add a dimension to what you offer your followers. So if you're not a good dancer like me, and you want to feature a really good dancer, you can react to a dancing. So you give your followers that dynamic or that bit of information that you otherwise wouldn't get from you. But it's up to you how you use that. I think it adds flavor to my page, because I don't want to just people go on my page and see me talking about stuff. And that's all I do for the most part. And so when you go in and you get a duet or you get someone dancing or doing a comedy skit, it gives them more for a variety of things to choose from, in addition to that constant real estate narrative that I'm going on about. Obviously, lighting and quality of your video matters. I know TikTok, and one of the reasons I love TikTok is that it allows me to be authentically me. Like, I swear I've been on TikTok with a hair bonnet on. You would never catch me on Instagram or on Facebook looking as raggedy as I looked on TikTok. But with TikTok, the space is so safe that I feel safe enough to do it. But I always do it in good lighting, because in addition to being raggedy, my content is important, and I want people to focus on what I'm saying when I do make a video about real estate, when I do make a video about down payment assistance or buying or selling. So my ring light is what, $30? You can get them on Amazon quite easily. Just invest in them, especially if you're going to be using TikTok for video or business content. And of course, content is important, because content is just important. You want people to view you as an authority, as someone that knows what you're talking about. So you want to make sure that your content is as accurate as possible, as engaging as possible. And something that I struggle with is as short as you can, because one of the matrix for the algorithm is how long people stay on your video. So if you do a 60-second video, chances are that you would have less view percentage time than if you do a 15-second video. And the last bit is using trending sounds. One of the ways people find you on TikTok is through the For You page. When you do get on their For You page, trending sounds, hashtags, and effects. So you want to make sure that if you can incorporate any of these into a video that you do, because if they don't see you on their For You page and there's a sound that's trending, they're definitely going to find you that way, or they could potentially find you that way. So we want to increase the possibilities that they're being able to find you. So using trending sounds and hashtags is important for that. And essentially that's it. Let's see, the last slide is why TikTok for small business. And first of all, it's free. So yeah, why not? It's free, except it's incredibly addictive, I find. So in terms of opportunity cost, you have to be very strategic in how you spend your time on TikTok, because you don't want to be making videos and neglecting your business, right? That doesn't make any sense. So sometimes I have to remind myself of that. But also the localization advantage. And what that means is that if you say in Gwinnett County and you post a content, it tends to be pushed out to people that are in that geographic region close to where you are. So you get that local push to For You pages of users that's in that proximity. And so it's also good if you have a storefront, if you're providing service at a particular location, because you know that people that can actually convert to actual customers are within reach geographically for the most part. Brand awareness, it's easy to have people, if you do especially things like makeup and lashes and merchandise, it's so easy to just bring awareness by having fun, exciting, on-trend videos and content that people can engage with, because the more engaging and likable the contents are, the more people are going to see it. And that's obviously more people going to be aware of your brand. Conversion. So this is, I guess, the most exciting thing for me as a small business owner about TikTok. I've spent thousands of dollars on Facebook and Instagram campaigns. And it's not that I don't convert people, But I had one video go viral, that one video about the young man that bought a house at 21. It went semi-viral, not really, really viral. But I got literally over 60 leads from that one video. Because when I put it up, I made sure I did hashtags of Atlanta Realtor, and I'm not sure if that's what helped it get into the hands of more people in those areas. Definitely, yes. But the number of people that had contact me about buying a home in this local area that I can actually meet, I'm working with 5 of them now. So I'm not saying that everyone's going to get the same amount of success or response, but I've never had that much success from any other platform. And so if nothing else about this presentation convinces you that you should get a TikTok presence, that should. Like, I potentially am on trend to close at least 10 transactions from that one video. So, and again, let's go back to the TikTok ads. It's an early advantage because it's not very saturated yet. I did try it, personally speaking, and I haven't had that much success, but someone called me from the TikTok office and they're gonna walk me through what I did wrong, because I just thought it was very similar to Facebook and I didn't really do anything other than put it up. So it's probably just user error in my end. But one of the greatest advantage of doing that now is because you don't have a lot of competition. So if you can find a way to learn what I didn't learn to be successful at it, there's a huge opportunity there for small business owners. Like I said, you can start an ad for like $20, so it's not expensive. And it's easy to connect with your audience, again, through your lives, to your feedback, to you responding by comments, with videos and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave room for questions. I don't know how long I took for time, but in all, I think.
Natalie, I wanted to jump in and just because we have a couple questions that we're going to cover, and then because we ran over time with all this great information, I know it's just so much good stuff that you guys are sharing, and we really appreciate it. And so I think we're going to have to narrow it down to a couple of questions. I wanted to do 3, but we're going to have one YouTube and one TikTok question. So there's so many great questions, guys, to our attendees. I apologize for not being able to get all of your questions in, but I do want to throw in a YouTube question, and then between Natalie and Alessandro, maybe you guys can both answer the TikTok question. So one of the interesting YouTube questions that I found, it says, when you see sponsored videos on YouTube, what role do the content creators play in that? And are these sponsorships hard to make happen? So Julian, would you be able to take that question?
Okay, sorry. So those sponsored videos. So if you guys have a YouTube channel yourself, you can make those sponsorships or those sponsored videos yourselves, or you can collaborate with someone else to share or have that sponsorship video, your sponsorship video, on their channel, their video, right? No, it's not really hard to happen. You can. I've done something very similar to that, where I've had different channels where it's video will play, and then I would have a sponsorship little ad come up promoting another channel, right? Something similar, or another product like that, right? Or a service. It's easy to happen. You can actually, when you create your own video, you can pick if you wanted to come up, or a different playlist, or a product, or a different channel. You can pick it and where you want to drop it in at. It's easy and similar to do, right? It's not hard. You can do it with your own channel, or you can promote products from yourself. It's great if you collaborate with someone. Like I said, get out there, get YouTubers out there, reach out to them, but don't just, blindside them, connect with them, network, or build that relationship. So what we're about, right? So it's easy. You can do it. Remember the Academy.
Great. Thank you for that. And we appreciate all of your expertise in the business of YouTube. And our next and last question of the evening will go to Natalie and Alessandro, if you guys can take turns answering this question. And honestly, it was hard to choose which one. But I think what really a lot of people want to know is, what is the average pay for an influencer? And will making a video on TikTok, like, you know, I guess when it comes to being an influencer on TikTok, can we consider that a full-time job? And are people really successful with that? And have you guys ever used an influencer to help with your branding or content?
Sure. Should I go on this?
Yeah.
Sure.
So we, our agency has worked so far in the last 2 years, I'd say hundreds, maybe some thousands of TikTokers. So we have I'd say a lot of like, you know, information about the pricing. I have to say that in the last 2 years, it increased definitely, but I think that on TikTok, in terms of pricing, you can still find really good, really, I'd say, like paying maybe sometimes like, you know, a few hundreds of dollars, and sometimes just sending out free products. So you can still have the opportunity to get in front of millions of people. So imagine that there is a really nice story about, if I recall correctly, this homemade peanut butter, and they created like it at home, and they had the help of from some like TikTokers. They just like they did some videos that became viral, only having like free product at their home. So they didn't even ask money, and they sold, I think, hundreds of thousands of dollars like in a few months. So that maybe is not happening anymore on Instagram. Let's say on TikTok itself, can still find people that might accept just the product instead of being paid. But still, like, you know, it is still like, you know, big opportunities for a lot of people. So you can also find, you know, TikTokers that are gonna ask you $5,000, $10,000 for a video. You know, the more followers, the more engagement, the more press that you have, the more money you're gonna ask. But long story short, I think that TikTok, it is the only like social media now where you can still find a really good like, you know, opportunity, and with a really small budget, with a lot of work, you know, behind that. But if you can like give like, you know, free stuff away, you can still get in front of millions of people. So it really changes a lot. It depends by the geolocation, the industry, and many things. But if you play it well, even with a few hundreds of dollars, sometimes you can still get nice results. And yes, I mean, it's a job, 100%. People are spending so much time in creating videos. There are a lot of hype houses and different houses of people doing 24/7 content, and they are paid by big brands a lot of money to doing that, you know, create content and, you know, share it to millions of people. So yeah, it's a job for sure.
Great.
And then
Natalie, do you have an experience?
I don't have much to add to it, except in my very small capacity. 2 companies that reached out to me, and they were offering $450 for 3 videos. One was a dating app, which I didn't take because it's not on brand for me. But they offered me $450 to do 3 videos, just incorporating the dating app and different features of it in my video. And then the most recent one gave me $500 to do a review on some magnetic lashes. And again, because it's not on brand for me, I didn't do it. But if you have a huge enough following, because I don't have a lot of followers, I can definitely see you doing that full time to earn money, because there is a huge market for influencers and just incorporating products into videos and stuff like that.
Awesome. And then I see that we have all of our panelists for today. You guys were great. There are contact info in the chat for you guys, for our attendees tonight. So please, please, please follow them, learn from them. And I'm sure they wouldn't mind you guys reaching out and asking questions. And I'm going to hand it back over to our host for the evening, Siobhan.
I just wanted to say thank you again to everyone. Thank you to our great presenters, to Natalie, Julian, and Alessandro. We learned a lot of information from you guys tonight. And again, to everyone that participated, please follow follow them and please reach out to them. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. That was great. Yes, that was great. I will be sending this out to you all. And like I said, please, Julian, I don't think you were on. Send me your mailing address because GEW sends things out to you all. And then we have something we're going to send to you out as well. Okay. Thank you so much.
Today, I know we have a debrief. Are we doing it at 7:30?
Yeah, I'm
do you mind if I run and go get? Yeah, I was going to say, do you mind if I go warm up dinner and then I'll pop right back in?
Okay.
Okay.